you know something's not exactly the way you want it. You know this person's trying really, really hard. And maybe they've been with you and your company for a really long time. But the manager in your business is not really doing what the company needs. And you're torn between loyalty and inconvenience, right? Having to hire or deal with the situation at all, of asking them to step into the role and holding them accountable to this. And that stresses you out. It just sounds like a lot of scary work. And then you're left with all that work to do yourself. If you get rid of this manager that's not being successful, how do you handle it, right? A change in leadership, it's a big deal. And when we have that new exciting thing pulling us as the business owner and as the boss, and we're ready for expanding into second locations or moving into a new second business or whatever personal needs, right? Maybe you want to spend more time with your family or take care of a sick family member, or maybe you're going to have a baby, right? You see in the next 3 months, big change and opportunity. And so you think, well, this manager's good enough. Let's just go with it because I don't want to think about the stress of it all right now. I've got this new exciting thing that's coming up. Oh my gosh, I just want to shake you. I've been on no less than 3 client calls, 1 VIP session, 1 inner circle management consulting, and 1 private client call. 3 calls in the last 3 days where we've had to discuss different management shifts and issues that they've been delaying. And I get it. It's, we've invested, and oftentimes we give opportunity for management to people that we have a personal connection or something about them reminds them about us. And we just want it so badly for them that we put ourselves into these positions. But let's be clear. If you have an issue with your manager, and especially if you know something exciting is down the road in 3 months or 6 months or 12 months, now is the time to deal with this. Boss, you need to protect your business first. And this individual, we can talk about different ways to handle the situation, but you need to identify one of 3 actions with this manager. First, is this a singular piece of their responsibility that they're just not showing up correctly? Because maybe they just need some specific training. Maybe they need specific coaching and training. And I think that this is a good option when it's somebody that really is excelling at like 70% of the job, and they just have this one area they're not great at, whatever that responsibility is. So if it's just that they don't have the experience and you brought them into the manager role because of other reasons that they were qualified, but they didn't really have this one missing piece that your business needs from this manager, then we've got to find a way to get that to them. And I would tell you, it's got to be something they can turn around pretty quickly. So whether you're looking for a specific coach for them or a program or a training or a session that can really affect change quickly, because within 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, you've got a thing that's going to get you out of pocket. You need to be able to rely on this manager in a different way. So 1, can we just address that little piece, and can we train them up? Now, remember, not everybody can be trained on everything. So that still might not work. But if you really believe they're doing 70% and this is a skill that can be taught in a short time frame, training might be the option for your manager. The second piece that you need to consider is it a capacity issue? Right? You brought your manager on because you didn't have time for the team and all the logistics and all the work that was going on. So is your business at a point of growth where you now need a second type of manager? Now that might look like breaking out workflows. So we have 2 types of managers, or we bring in a manager under them so that they can take just a section of what the manager is responsible for. There's lots of different ways. It depends on your business. And if you have questions, I know a girl, come on over, let's have a chat. But really, sometimes capacity, the overwhelm you felt, is now affecting the person in that job, not because they're not able, but because there's too much for one human. And this is your job, boss, to recognize when you need to hire and expand your organizational chart, when it's time to bring in a different position or a different person. So that happens on your leadership team as well. This might be the second option for you. So how can we break out workflows and get a second manager on the team? The last option could be that we could bring in a second in command manager, so somebody over your current manager that will take over areas that and can really help support this manager in their success. If we know this person is good, but can never really be the driver, that second in command ideology and motivation and authority to step in and really support as you step into your next big exciting adventure, if we recognize it, we might need a second in command. Now the question is that second in command over your current manager, or are we replacing your current manager? A lot of times we keep people in management roles because of loyalty and effort, and you just wanted it for them and they didn't really want it. So it might just be moving the current manager into a different position where they can be hugely successful without the areas that they're not successful at. And then we can go out and hire the right person. Because if you're being pulled somewhere else, your business needs a very strong second in command. Somebody that is going to be able to represent you and your values and the mission of this company in all actions and decisions. If you're looking at your manager and they're not able to do that, you probably have to choose from one of these three. And you absolutely have to do it before you get to that new thing. So if you only have 3 months, you need to start now working on this to make your decision and move towards those recourses, especially if training is the one, because it still might not work and you still might have to go back to option number 3, where you might have to replace them. All right, boss, your team needs a leader, and it's okay if it's not you, but we have to get the right person in and they have to be fully successful in the role. If you have any questions, just drop them in the chat or in the comment section and we'll do our best to address them. But your business needs this, and that's your role as the CEO. Boss on.